beginning of that next motive. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you can do just a little breath.
A little breath and a little new beginning. Okay. Fresh beginning on bar 8. And then as you make a beautiful diminuendo on bar 12, I don't think it's bad for it to just relax the slightest bit. So, you know, a lot of people think that hairpins are dynamics. That's the last thing a hairpin is a dynamic. A hairpin, to me, denotes something completely different from that. Maybe there is a certain dynamic naturalness in a hairpin, but it's really more about freedom of phrasing and about maybe a slight rubato, maybe an emotional thing. I mean, I think dynamic is the last thing it is. So when you see the word crescendo, that's a dynamic. The word diminuendo, that's a dynamic. A hairpin is a lot more. So I think there's, so what I'm trying to say is that if you make a slight relaxing in bar 12, that would be a result of having moved forward in the bar before. So instead of, it would do, so you're covering the same amount of time, but there's a freedom in your phrasing, and that's due to seeing this, okay? So have some flexibility when you're doing a hairpin. Think of it more as a rubato, as a feeling, rather than a dynamic. Because basically, the whole first phrase is vocal forte, right? You don't want to really blow it up to fortissimo or anything like that. It's just has this kind of ebb and flow. Let me sort of conduct you through and see if that helps. It's either that, or I wonder if for the crescendo you might need to change there. You should ask Wiley what he does there.
Okay. Yeah, because it's not
Get a bowing from him, because it.
Does it just die away?
Well, by that time, you know, in your register, it's hard to hear you.
Yeah.
Can we just start in bar 12 and start down bow and then change here? Don't mark it because you might do something else, but start this down bow.
Okay.
So register. to know that is good, to show it is better, yeah, no, and also, it's a moment for the three of you together. The three of you are accomplishing the climax together.
That's your.
So that should be your goal as a group. And don't worry about your part and you miss a note, and it's not about that. It's about the music. So this is what we need to do, right? Is to get to that point and make it together. So if you leave something out or something doesn't go well, don't do what I do, which is to get pissed off when I make a mistake and then mess up the next phrase. But all these years, I'm 61 years old, I still don't know that I'm not supposed to do that. So don't say I made a mistake, let it go. That moment in time is gone forever, right? You can't ever get that back. But what you can do is control what comes next. So that's going to be your goal, is that climax, right? Well, so let's work towards that. How about, let's start, you have 21, right?
Yes.
Let's start on the second beat. That was good. That was very good. So we could have a little bit more sweep on these quarter notes with dots. So you have some lift. Okay? Is that your going? It's fine.
I was playing with it, I haven't totally.
Okay.
Do you think 2 downs is good there?
For the chord and then the next note, I think that's fine. So then this would be up.
No, that's down, I hook the, right.
I think that's good. So,
Right.
okay. Your other option would be to take an extra up. But I think you're fine with the 2 downs. And then the down on the chord, and then a big arrival at the C.
Yeah, I think it helps set up A.
You were nicely together there, so I think that was a good choice. So can we just do 2 bars before the climax? So we're at 28 now.
28,
28. That's one part.
Let's see,
27?
29 is the climax, correct?
okay. Yes.
So 27 is fine. You want to start at 27?
Yeah, ready? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm down. Good. So right here at 49, where you just arrived, is new material, is motivic. So it's not the same as playing all these other things before. This one is, there's a little phrasing and a beginning of the next phrase again. So this is one of those, so we've got the climax is one of those zoning in points. This is another zone in point, so that you're really showing the material, the structure, the motives. So take a little breath and be prepared to wait a little.
Susan, I'm sorry, but we got to move on.
We do?
We can wrap up this last thought. We can wrap up.
Okay,
this
okay.
last thought.
Let's just, how about, let's do 39.
Okay.
Because I want to show, I'll just show you the places where I think you need to zone. Okay? And then the rest of the movement. Okay, so, what was that?
more violin, less cello. You got a little part at 78 and 79. I think a lot of that is because, I think if you thought about the music more and about your parts and instruments less, you would actually, that makes your part come out better, you know? When you're so worried about your instrument and playing the notes, you forget about the music and then you get a part.
You changed the bow yesterday to that. I see.
piano is really has a very syncopated part too, which makes it a bit difficult.
Yes, yes. 80 is a good zone part, is zoning in part. Make sure you come together as a group. Into 80. Yeah. I could hear a little more violin in the high 90s, 96, 97. And I think the piano should make a retard in 101 to the grazioso a little time, and that's another good zone. You know, another clarity of phrasing. You've got a little part in the next phrase, I think it was just a little accident. Another zone in is 121. You know, when you're trading the parts, now the triplets, you trade the accompaniment and you trade the melody. Those are always good places to make sure that you're zoned. Of course, going to 129 is another zone place. 139, 140, make sure you bring out the hemiola in the strings. Bong, bong.